It might be in reverse. Trust that your kindness will always return. Hmm. So I feel like if you chose this pile, there has been a significant time in a relationship, likely with someone older than you, that it felt like you were being kind even when it was extremely difficult, even when this other person made it pretty difficult. But you did it not because you necessarily wanted something, you did it because you thought kindness was the right thing to do. And I can feel that now there's a transition where maybe you were wondering, was I stupid for doing that? Was I being taken advantage of? And that's something for you to reflect on. I would say you're never stupid. Maybe that's a word you use. You're never stupid for being kind to someone. You can reflect on discernment about whether someone deserves kindness or is it more respect. But you can trust that your kindness will always return to you. And sometimes it will return in the form of another person. Sometimes it will return through a stranger. But in this relationship right here, if you chose card number one, you're in a relationship or ending a relationship where you gave and gave a lot of trust and kindness, and now you're wondering, what the hell, was it worth it? So let's see. Let's go a little bit deeper. Oh, wow. So Don Juan, wow, this says a lot. It says spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. So what this tells me, if you chose this first card, that I feel like you currently are still in this relationship. And one of you is especially attractive. Maybe you both are. Hey, but I feel like that attractiveness has become a bit complicated. There's also something here about music. It feels like music is something that you connected on. I'm also getting here that maybe you make love to music a lot. And there's also something here about a really strong um, connection to your parents. Maybe one of you has to take care of your parents or something like that. Hi, uh, Aura Orsu Arusaliqua. So what we're doing here is this is called a pick a card reading, where you are choosing intuitively one of three cards, and I will go through each one and give a message. And that message today is about relationships. Okay? So you can rewind this if you want to, but the first card that I'm getting right now is talking about your current relationship, and I'm intuitively sharing about it. It says, trust that your kindness will always return. And then as we go deeper, you have this Don Juan card saying that your current relationship, it's likely you're still together, and music could be very important to how you met. And also Rose, literally roses could be important, or there could be someone named Rose, or you could be really connected to parents. Maybe one of you is taking care of aging parents. Also, it feels like sex is a pretty big part of this connection. If you chose this first card, sex or intimacy. And I'm getting the number 33. So you might have been together 3 years, and somebody could be 33. But there is a good energy there. This is actually very positive. So it could be that your relationship is doing just fine. There's something about holding hands. Maybe you still hold hands after all these years. Yeah. And I get the feeling like one of you here, if you chose this first one, if you are a 12-year-old, well, you should ask your parents probably permission before watching something like this. But if you're in a relationship, it could apply. If not, something else might be more appropriate. So let's move forward a little bit. Okay, so if you chose number one, okay, thank you. Show me who is watching here for number one. Who are you in this relationship? Who are you in this relationship? Wow, okay. Father, warrior. I definitely feel like there's at least one male here. Dazed and confused. Delta, I see you're still here. Jasmine Bean, hi, nice to have you here. So this doesn't mean that you have to be a male or a masculine, but this is important in who you are in this relationship. So let's get into that. And okay, we'll stop there and then we'll look at, also, you could be a teacher. So if you're watching this, it seems like you could literally be a teacher, or you are really good at explaining things in the relationship. So let's break this down. This does feel like a pretty good relationship, honestly, this first pile. So you have warrior. This is you if you're watching this. Strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. If you're watching this, you might have arthritis in a certain arm or wrist. You also might be an ethnicity that is different than your partner. There's also something here about this is turning into something different. I'm getting almost the feeling like there might have been somebody that was kind of threatening the relationship just a little. I'm not saying that there was someone trying to get between you two, but it does seem like something happened recently that changed things, and something could have happened about let's see, around the 9th of this month, around the 9th of October. Let's keep going. And then you have father. Talent for creating and supporting life, a positive guiding light within a tribal unit. This is beautiful. So you literally could be a father, or it could be that you are in charge of children. I can definitely feel like some of you are either a teacher, or you have children, or you're just really good at teaching things to children. The main feeling I get here is something where there was a division, something divided you two recently. And I feel like it may have to do literally with a child. It's a feeling of like, things are going pretty okay. And then, what is this? There's a division because of a child. Maybe your partner was not showing up the way you had hoped. I definitely get the feeling also there's something here in this relationship, which, again, this is a good relationship overall, but you are working so hard. I feel like you literally might have more than one job. I also feel like it's almost like you're fighting off other people at times. Like there might be other people interested in your partner. But someone here is a really good father. And it definitely feels like this is still good. This is going to be just fine. But let me see. Okay, somebody here looks just like their father. You might hear that all the time, like, you look just like your father. Also, there's something here about you have made a lot of wishes over the years. You might be someone that literally wishes on stars. You might be really into astrology. There's something about really hoping that you could be better than your father was to you. And you're really just hoping to be the best. You want good things in your life, but you also want good things for your children or your child, maybe. And there definitely been some disappointments. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's been a lot of disappointments over the past 7 years, but you still seem to find a way to stay positive. And what I also notice in here is for you in this relationship, it's not so much that you push forward and try to stay positive for your partner. You do it for yourself, but also if you do have a child or you do have even a dog or a cat or a pet, you push yourself to stay healthy, to stay positive. Marty Sen, am I talking about you? I could feel that. Okay, that's all right. Because there were definitely times here, especially in February, March of this year. Whoever is watching this, well, shit got real serious. I can feel that. It was very difficult to keep your head held high and to stay positive, but you did. So let's get an understanding here. Who is this other person? Who is your partner? Who is this other person, please? Who is this other person? That's a lot. Okay, anything else? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. That's probably enough. Okay. Okay. It feels like money is coming into the conversation. You broke my foot and couldn't work in February. Oh, I'm sorry, Jasmine. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. And so, yeah, I can feel that you're someone that always is a very, very, very hard worker, specifically Jasmine. And not being able to is just driving you crazy, and you weren't getting the support maybe you really needed. So let's take a look at the partner here. Okay, these were in reverse. Okay, let me try to move this around a little bit. Wow, that's a lot. Look at all these. Okay. Oh my gosh. Thief, gossip, God, companion, blank. Okay, those are extras though. Let's start here. Wow, your partner is much more complicated than you are, and that's okay. These are both in reverse. So let's start here. Lover, great. Well, this is in reverse. So technically what this says down here is obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. So if you're choosing pile 1, your partner could be someone that, first of all, really loves chocolate, might have like a sweet tooth. They also have changed their hair recently, and they are someone that can be very sweet. They can be very, very loving, except there might have been something about pregnancy that complicated things. But overall, your partner can be very sweet and passionate, except when they sort of go blind, as we could say. They stop paying attention to you and stop paying attention to the relationship, and something happens where they just start obsessing over everything. It's almost like instead of noticing, for example, that you cleaned the house and that you made dessert, or that for some of you I'm seeing like you there's like driving, like instead of noticing these things that you're doing and engaging with you, it's like all they think about is this obsession. Where are you? Why aren't you spending time with me? Please spend time with me. Why don't you love me anymore? Why don't we have sex anymore? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with you? Why don't you love me? And they like want to go through your phone, and they're eating a lot in order to cope with all this stress. And it's so much of it, to be fair, is in their mind, but this is sort of a pattern that they have. This also says self-destructive devotion. And there's no judgment here. Love is complicated. But what I can see here is when this happens, it really puts you in different directions. Can you see that? So if you're watching this, the relationship you're in, it was pretty good, but recently there's this intensity. Somebody here has really been eating a lot more than usual, and they're feeling obsessive. Somebody here also might be looking into watercolor painting. I'm also getting the name Jenny or Geneva, something like that. Yeah. And so next, so somebody's name here could actually be Marty, by the way. But then we have for your partner also Martyr. And this was also in reverse. So we're going to go down here. Addiction to self-pity. Bro, Jenny. So your partner, okay, so your partner is kind of in a wounded place right now. A wound. Why can't I say that? Wounded. A newer wounded place. It feels like somebody here could not work as much as they used to, or have been working so much. That's what it is. Okay. It feels like you, if you're watching this, that's Marty. Oh my gosh. Marty Sen. Look, that's amazing. Marty Sen, and then we got Martyr. And you said Jenny is her name? Okay. Well, okay, that's good to know. I'm not here to waste your time. I've been dedicating my life to doing this, so I'm so happy you could connect with it. And there will be other people too that have Jenny in their life. Okay, let's pause. So I still feel like this relationship has a lot of good things in it. I can see that working so hard for you has really taken a toll, though. It's taken a toll on your romance. And there's also something here about, it feels like your father growing up worked a lot. And so there's parts of you that kind of have mixed feelings, should we be working this hard, etc. But it seems like your partner is let me just get this out of the way. Your partner is a very loving person, okay? There's a lot of great traits here. They're beautiful. And because you're juggling so much, because you're working very, very hard, they feel left out. They feel left out. Oh, we have roses again. There's something about roses. Also, I will say that your partner is likely a different ethnicity than you. And because your partner feels left out, they can get in this really heavy space of, why won't you talk to me? Why don't we make love as much? What are you doing after work? Like, what you said you would be here at this time, but you're not. What's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? And then it goes to some self-pity. Like, I should have known that, that this wouldn't work out, and just really getting stuck on how much they're hurting. When again, I want to say this really, a lot of this is in their mind because you're not intentionally trying to separate yourself. You're not intentionally trying to hurt them. You're literally just trying to get through the day. And so this might have something to do with their father, actually. So there is hope here, and we'll get to that. So what's interesting is these extra cards. You're at it, Marty-san, you're asking a lot of those questions. Okay, so you're feeling this way a bit too. So let's see if we can unravel that and help a bit. The extra card, we have prostitute. And this doesn't mean literally, but it's upright, which says accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Yeah, so this makes a lot of sense, especially if someone is out of work here. There's this pressure to give in, like, I'll take any job, I'll do whatever I have to just to keep the lights on, to pay the bills. Yeah, I can really feel that somebody, this could be your partner, they they may feel like sex is the only way to connect with you right now. And what they need to know is, first of all, that you do see them, that you're not intentionally pushing them away. Because look at this first card. Look at these moves. Look at this romance here. It's that you are more in like a practical sense, like in survival mode. You know, you're trying to earn money. You're trying to get back on your feet. You're trying to be a good father, perhaps. And of course, that's going to imbalance the relationship for a little while. So let's see. Also, somebody here is feeling pretty vulnerable. Somebody is kind of putting money aside a little bit, like a few bucks here and there. They're kind of saving it and putting it away. Somebody here is pretty irritated actually about the whole situation. They're feeling kind of angry. Somebody here though is still managing to keep up with their hygiene and appearance. I mean, somebody's like painting their nails regularly, you know, and they're curling their hair, for example. They're keeping up on their appearance. Okay, but they are a bit frustrated. We have a lot of other cards here. This just warns you about, you might be a bit intimidating. So this is bully. Highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. Somebody here could have asthma or could have a cold and they're feeling sick. Also, this is the second time I'm seeing driving, like someone who drives long distances. I just heard curly fries. Somebody might like curly fries. Someone might have a really domineering mother that's kind of interfering here a bit. Yeah. This will blow over though. This is very temporary. Okay, but just be aware that at times there is some intimidation. Also, someone here might smoke. Okay. Food is definitely a factor here too in the relationship. Someone might stress eat. And these are all things that are just coping with very, Marty said, oh, you do? And so much of this is just coping with a temporary flux due to someone losing a job or something like that. Okay, this is nice. So here are some ways that you can improve this. We have healer, a passion to serve others by repairing the mind, body, and spirit, ability to help transform pain into healing. Yeah, somebody really does have a lot of pain here physically. And what I feel like with this is part of the complication is we can't go to our partner for every single thing. I think sometimes we're taught that in society. That's not to say you go out and find someone else, you know, but for example, if you are hurting, if you've injured yourself or there's something you're struggling with, it's not a problem to go find a therapist or to go to a doctor, you know, to get help other places in that way. Somebody here might also be having really bad dreams. Somebody here likely has a younger sibling that might be helpful in this situation. Yeah. And this can get better for sure. Okay. I just heard candy coated. Candy coated? Candy? Okay. Okay. Also, somebody's name could be Heather. Okay. And let's see. We're almost done with this pile one. Dilettante is the other suggestion. And look, it's amazing how similar this female keeps showing up here with the dark hair. So, and then also here, but in this, she cut her hair. So I wonder if you're watching this, did your partner cut her hair or his hair recently? Take that as it resonates. Okay, here's what it says. Delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. So if you're watching this, you have a lot of skills. You are like a master. You probably are into painting or art of some kind. You're probably really good in the kitchen. You're really good at growing plants. You may read a lot, or you used to. You might even be into meditation. I feel like you have been on a boat a lot in your life. You have all these dreams about creating a business. For some of you, you actually come from a pretty wealthy or financially stable family, and so you do have the resources to pursue these things. And for some of you, you make jewelry like earrings and things like that. She cut her hair, Marty said. It sounds like we're pretty connected then on this. But other people can get the same messages too. So, I've never noticed this before, ever, and I've had these a long time. I've never noticed that she is actually painting from still life. I've never noticed this. She's literally painting this flower she has in her other hand. What does that mean? Also, I can see that money is a bit hard here because underneath you have Midas and Miser. See what I said? Look, somebody here is putting money aside and not sharing. Hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. But somebody here is being very generous. Okay, I'm getting a little bit scattered. Okay, so what is... What is the meaning of painting from this real life flower? What is this meaning? What is this meaning here from this flower? What does this mean? What does this mean? What is the message that this partner or this person or this viewer is trying, what part of this viewer is trying to come forward based on painting from life? Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys have a lot going on, huh? Okay, it's a lot. So I'm not going to go into depth on all these, but we have seeker, liberator, and priest. Okay, so what this feels like for me is that imagery here is saying that likely it's you. You have a dream. No, let me think about that. There's something about a son here. Either you have a son or there's like an idea that you have that's very inspiring, and you've seen it played out with someone. And this literally could be starting a business. This could be following a passion that you have. And you are a rebel. You are a rebel. Whatever it is that you want to do, you are trying to light up people's lives. You're trying to say, free yourself. Like you don't have to live like everybody else. This says, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. So you could literally be a motivational speaker. I just heard the name Diana. But whatever it is, this business idea, you are willing to go to the ends of the earth. You want to make this happen. And actually, it's going to happen. You have a lot of spiritual energy being sent to you to make this happen. But here's the message before we wrap up here. Whoever your partner is, they, in a sense, want to copy you. And who's to say if that's right or wrong? They want to copy you. Deep down, they want to have a passion. Deep down, they want to have the motivation you do. They want to have this drive. But their life has, been mostly about other people, loving other people, trying to make other people happy, which is okay. And so there's something about you where they see your idea, your drive, and they feel a little left out of it, but also they wish they could do that too. Mental wellness, okay. And so I don't know if the answer is to include them and having like a group, like a business together, because in the upright, this says entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches, entrepreneurial. But right now, it does feel like that would be pretty complicated. Your partner does not seem to be in a great mental health place to, meet you there, but maybe in the future. And it does feel like if that is the case, is it safe to stay or not? That's what's complicated. If they don't support your idea, sometimes I feel like for this, it might not be the idea. They say don't take things personally because it's always about the other person. It might not be the idea. What they might not be supportive of is the idea that you're going after something in your life. You're going after your happiness, that you have this creativity, and they don't. And what happens, I feel like, is when we see someone, let me back up. What the angels are telling me right now is this, that we'll end on. A lot of times we work really, really hard to figure out, what am I supposed to do with this life? What job should I have? How can I help people, or how can I get by? How can I make this a good life? And we try really hard, and we try lots of different things. But often, for lots of reasons, our dreams get crushed. And it's not always because we did anything wrong. Sometimes it's just not the right timing. But what happens is, after we've really tried and it hasn't worked out, in order to protect ourselves, protect our heart, a lot of us will say, well, it's just not possible. F that. It's just not possible. It's just not possible. So when someone comes along, perhaps like you, and you say, oh, I have a dream, I have this thing I want to pursue, the other person can feel really triggered or threatened by that. One thing is, it triggers them and they say, oh, look how naive they are. Look how immature and, ignorant they are. They want to go after this thing. I remember when I did it and I failed. So part of them might be kind of brushing you off or resistant, not because of your idea whatsoever, but because deep down they want to protect you. It's incorrect likely, but a part of them wants to protect you from the disappointment and failure that they've felt. Time is a big role, for sure. So the other person might not even be aware of these inner biases that they have, but it might be worth talking about. Like, hey, I know that you don't exactly understand what I'm trying to do, or you're afraid that I'll fail. And I want you to know that, you're a part of this and that I do need your support. And if I fail, then we will fail together. But, you are a part of this, and I just need you to trust me. And it may also be about, secondly, they don't know how to pick themselves up after a big failure. So let's get one more card. What version of you has the answer to this? Whatever that means. Which version of you can you lean into? As if you had a whole closet full of jackets. There's a angry part of you, there's a fun part of you, there's a sexy part of you. Which part of you is needed right now to smooth out this part in the relationship? What part? Thank you. What part? What part? What part? This is especially related to this December, this Christmas, if you celebrate that. I'm not sure why. Oh, man. Somebody's name here could be Tim or Victor. Wow. Okay. Victim. Prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. Okay. So the part of you that you should lean into is, first, chill out for a second. Whatever that means for you. Find some time and listen to a meditation or go for a walk. Do something that really helps you take your mind off of all of this. That's how we get new ideas, is we have to take our mind off of our problems for a little while. Go swimming if you like to swim. Secondly, if you feel like you are being a bully in your relationship because you're so stressed out, the part of you to step forward is the part that says, hey, I know I've been a bit aggressive, I've been impatient lately. It's not my intention. I want to start fresh with this. Here's what I will do, etc. And what I love from you is XYZ. So that part of you that cares enough about yourself not to be a bully and cares enough about them not to let all this stress unload on them. Now, if you feel like your partner is being a bully, this is the part of you that says, wait, I shouldn't be treated like this. Even if we're going through a lot. Wait. I'm just trying to put my feet in the water and try something new. There's absolutely zero reason that someone I love should talk down to me, should criticize all of my ideas, should manipulate me so I can't even get anything off the ground. That leaves me feeling worthless and alone just for having creative ideas. No. We don't play that game. Life is too short. And so if that's the case, it's time to really reflect. Also, you could listen to a meditation. If you have some supportive friends, maybe talk a bit about it. Also, I know you might have lots of different beliefs, but it really can help to do an energy clearing. There are thousands of them on YouTube. You just look up energy clearing, or also just take a cold shower, and you just tell yourself, after the shower, any of these heavy emotions, these other people's emotions that I've been carrying around as if I should feel this way, I'm letting those go. Also, somebody here might have issues with their thyroid or their hormones, and so it's important to get enough rest. But that's what I have for you. It does feel like things will get better. This is not, I know it's overwhelming right now, but this is not terrible. Okay, I've been doing this for over 13 years, okay? So it comes down to first knowing that you're both on the same page and knowing if there's any place to soften a bit. But money really F's with everything, doesn't it? When money is tight or money is suddenly gone, gosh, it just affects everything. So hang in there. All right.